Oh, hi. I'm a smart investor. I dare say that because I understand the cryptocurrency markets and I am up to date on every new development, fintech and blockchain ecosystem. All because I watch the Inside Blockchain show on Cryptotvplus. Every Monday morning, Cryptotvplus brings you news headlines of top stories, interview with an expert, and give you detailed market analysis to enable you make the right business moves. Now you too can become a smart investor if you don't miss it. The Inside Blockchain show, only on Cryptotvplus.
Great opportunities are presented to us every day. But sometimes we miss them, living a life of regret and what ifs. Opportunities come but once, or maybe not. Now, digital money revolution has come to Africa. Wealth is no longer for a selected few. Money has been redefined. Introducing Tatcoin. Tatcoin is Africa's utility token that gives you access to a life of endless possibilities. You can shop, buy real estate, travel, invest, and build wealth. For more information, visit www.abitsnetwork.com.
Hello and welcome to the program. You're watching Inside Blockchain live on Cryptotvplus. I am Tony Obiaju. Now, over the next 1 hour, we will be looking beyond the headlines by giving you key discussions on key issues and trends affecting us in different ways. We begin with the African Continental Free Trade Area, which went live on the 1st of January 2021, as we take a look at how blockchain can help set this agreement in motion. We then move to speak with Gauis Chibueze, popularly known as Bitcoin Chief, as he shares his story on how he lost $34,000 in a single trade, made over $175,000 still in a single trade, and shared tips on how to trade smartly and manage risks in crypto trading. Then finally, Sonya Kuhnel, the director and co-founder at Bitcoin Events, will be joining us on the program to speak on Blockchain Africa Conference set to hold in March of this year, 2021. The African Continental Free Trade Area went live on the 1st of January 2021. Founded in 2018, the Free Trade Area is the world's largest in terms of the number of participating countries since the formation of the World Trade Organization. Now, after years of talks, the goal is to establish a single market for goods and services across 54 countries, allow the free movement of business travelers and investments, and also create a continental customs union to streamline trade and attract long-term investments. Now, the agreement is seen critical for growth and job creation for Africa and its 1.27 billion people. However, according to data found on World Economic Forum on Africa, intra-Africa trade has been historically low. The total exports in 2017 was seen at 16.6% compared to 68% in Europe and 59% in Asia. It will definitely be a challenge to make way for easy and quick facilitation of people and goods in Africa because of such fragmentation with economies at different stages of development. Let's now talk to Shadrack Kubyane, who is the co-founder and CEO of Coronet Blockchain and a thought leader in Africa. He joins us on Skype from South Africa. Shadrack, good to have you join me on the program. Now, before we look at how blockchain, can bridge this gap while setting the African Continental Free Trade Agreement in motion, achieving its core objectives of creating a single continent market for goods and services, and as well promoting the movement of capital investments and business travelers. Let me just ask you this quickly. Can you help me establish an alignment here? How does blockchain align with the African Continental Free Trade Area?
Indeed. Thank you and greetings to you, Tony, and the audiences. Such a privilege to be on board. When you look at the alignment, the taste is all in the pudding. It's all in the results. If I use this as a departure point, the 3 success factors that are key to measuring the agreement in about 2035, which is just 727 Saturdays from now, not too far off. I'm sure the audience will agree. So those 3 success factors are realizing a 450 billion US dollars in increased trade by 2035. That's the first KPI pillar. And of course, lifting out of poverty about more than 30 million individuals in the process. And of course, lowering by that milestone, lowering up to 90% of the border tariffs that are in place at the moment, and they're a bit cumbersome. So when you look at those 3 pillars, that's where the alignment invitation begins to take shape. What is that invitation? If you are to look at facilitating trade, you will find that the fragmentation that you mentioned earlier on when you were broadly introducing the topic can be cured within the basket of 4th industrial revolution or 4IR technologies, and blockchain is at the epicenter of that as that essential layer of core digital infrastructure that can help open up our borders. That is number 1. And of course, when you are looking at poor people, you are now adjusting the lenses to relook at or refocus on existing inequalities. And inequalities sometimes are accelerated and exacerbated by factors such as silos or centralized data, centralized systems, centralized frameworks. So embedded in the blessing of blockchain in how it is configured from a deployment perspective or trade is the gift of decentralization. So decentralization will now bring a hegemonous and harmonious existence across the single trade bloc on the continent, which is really, really the catalyst that the agreement needs for us to jointly attach wheels to it as it wheels out of the showroom. And of course, on the efficiencies needed to deal with border, what I have termed border cholesterols or border constipations. I'm an African man, so I tend to ground all this intangible concept in a way that I can understand, or rather in the benefit of the trade participants. So yes, those are the 3 alignment pillars: the lifting up trade up to by 450 billion, lifting 30 million people out of poverty, and of course ensuring that up to 90% border tariffs are brought lower, which means blockchain is a strategic digital ingredient to bring efficiencies to the borders, to bring to lower inequalities, and of course to facilitate intertrade across a single trade bloc.
Interesting.
Thank you so much.
Now let's just probably fast track, or let's probably take a shot or a step backward right there. We're talking about these fragmentations, and I'm here wondering, where are the loopholes, and why is blockchain, the perfect solution? If you can just help us mention, some of these loopholes and why blockchain is actually this tool, to solve the solutions of probably these fragmentations that we are discussing.
That's a great question. Now lowering the drone from 10,000 feet to much closer to the ground to look at the grassroots dynamics and get very practical. I would say when you speak loophole, you are now shifting focus to what the pain points are on the ground level and what the opportunities could be to that effect. I'm going to use 2 examples. Only 2 examples for the benefit of time. About 2 days after the agreement went live on the 1st of January, some awkward legacy dynamics that we've had in Africa began already catching up with us, expressed in a form of, let me refer to the Bait Bridge border that is between South Africa and Zimbabwe. that is where trade between these two states take place. So the awkwardness is that truckers found themselves in a huge predicament across about 2 weeks leading up to the agreement going live, and of course a number of days, maybe up to 5 days as a residue post the agreement going live. What was behind all this chaos? Centralized systems once again have done it again. They have brought devastations, they have brought constipation at border channels, they have brought frustrations to our treasured truck drivers on the continent because they are the ones that carry trade on their shoulders. But as they do the heavy lifting, they came head on with the evils of bureaucracy, all because COVID-19 testing measures were deployed in place. That threw off the entire system. Had blockchain been deployed at that moment, it was not going to be the magic pill, but it was going to create such leg room because all parties involved in that administration across the public and private sector would be working off the same ledger, will be working off a decentralized platform where the 3 T's of blockchain were going to play out: trust, truth, and transparency. However, those 3 were missing. The agreement was live. Yes, the agreement is like a flight ticket that says, Tony, Shadrack, audiences, you can go to the airport and take off. But blockchain becomes the digital infrastructure that ensures that if there are any clogs in the system, then all participants involved, whether from legislation to operations, can just easily just go live and have a look at the key inefficiencies and who is responsible. If there's any further training, if the system is cracked in certain parts, then it must be remedied. Without a single focal point of digital infrastructure, that is a pipe dream on the ground. You have a flight ticket, but the jet is not there to take you to your destination, with the flight ticket being the agreement. The second example in point is in Nigeria. Nigeria has growingly been frustrated with the rice politics, or the rice smuggling dynamics. As legislated as far back as 2002, 2004, whereby lowering the dependency on rice imports into Nigeria has proved fruitless, unfortunately, with the policies in place. And in August, I believe it was 2018, if I'm not mistaken, I mean 2019, pardon me, Nigeria pulled the emergency lever and brought the borders to a standstill in order to come head on with this challenge of increased, incoming illegal importations. Now, that brought trade to Nigeria to a standstill. Had blockchain been in place, such an emergency lever would have seen a much smoother pinpointing with transparency and truth where these cracks in the system are. Those are just some of the benefits that if we open up trade, we need digital inputs from an infrastructure.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Shadrack, for shedding light in that area. Let's now probably delve into and take a look at food loss and wastage, along the food value chains. Right? In the Near East and as well as North Africa, these things are estimated to reach 250 kg per person and over $60 billion annually. How do you deploy blockchain into these areas?
Thank you kindly. If you look at it from 3 lenses: problem, cause, and solution, very simplified, you will realize that there's an increasing need, now more than ever, to evolve our borders into drive-thrus. Of course, with all the security measures in place, but we just need to enhance the drive-through effect, because in its absence, it is harming us when we try to engage in intertrade and even internally. So firstly, why is it that in 2021, we still have 25% of food lost by 33 million small-scale farmers on the continent at harvest level, and then an additional 20% lost in transit or in the supply chain. That is bizarre when we have got digital infrastructure to help the agreement to do the heavy lifting. Policymakers, lawmakers, we need to reconvene and look at that. Secondly, you find that most small-scale farmers, they've got this amazing produce for you and I and the audiences, Tony, but there are some, once again, constipations, cholesterols, and just frustrations as they try to get their produce to markets for it to end up in our fridges, in our kitchens, and so on. So all those red tapes and multiple middlemen, they have proven to be a nightmare. Remember the 3 T's, audiences. Blockchain deploys a digital infrastructure from a trust, transparency, and of course, a truth traction, so that we have got a truth machine that, look, if food is rotting, if we are incurring food losses, we will know with a single point of contact the who, the where, and the how, and then deploy the necessary decision mechanisms, the necessary additional training inputs, and of course, climate data, and all those, availing all those benefits on a single ledger, on a single decentralized platform where we don't compete as African farmers based on what I know from my forefather, but there's more collaboration through a single point of contact.
Okay, you mentioned trust there, transparency and truth, the 3 T's of the blockchain technology. Now, because of time, Shadrack, in just 1 minute, let me get your reaction, right, to this. How would you respond, to Africa's post-COVID food security challenges?
Thank you kindly. If we are to pandemic-proof our nations separately and collectively across this single trade bloc, we are going to have to deploy the truth machine called blockchain at scale, so that we can have a line of sight into testing protocols, we can have a line of sight into very key statistics, we can have a line of sight into if trade comes to a standstill during lockdowns in future, God forbid, but we need to be ready. If trade comes to a standstill, we will know the who, the what, and the when because of the 3 T's. So pandemic proofing is essential that we deploy truth machines and trust machines. Those are blockchains at scale for us to just sleep better at night, knowing that there will not be disruptions to food flows in that sense.
Okay, thank you so much, Shadrack, for speaking with us on the program. Now, still to come, I will be speaking with Gauis Chibueze, popularly known as Bitcoin Chief, as he shares his story, on how he lost $34,000 in a single trade, made over $175,000 still in a single trade, and tips on how, to trade smartly and manage risk in crypto trading. I'll also be speaking with Sonya Kuhnel as Bitcoin Events is set to host the 2021 edition of Blockchain Africa Conference in March. So stay tuned, stay with us. We'll be right back just after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, this is Cynthia Petian with AWS Mining.
I'm AfCFTA Overview.
I'm Anand Mohan from Technobrain.
This is Anu Bardwaj from Women Investing, Women Digital.
And you are watching
Cryptotvplus.
Cryptotvplus.
Stay tuned.
Great opportunities are presented to us every day. But sometimes we miss them, living a life of regret and what ifs. Opportunities come but once, or maybe not. Now, digital money revolution has come to Africa. Wealth is no longer for a selected few. Money has been redefined. Introducing Tatcoin. Tatcoin is Africa's utility token that gives you access to a life of endless possibilities. You can shop, buy real estate, travel, invest, and build wealth. For more information, visit www.abitsnetwork.com.
All right, welcome back and many thanks for staying with us. In case you're just joining the program, this is Inside Blockchain, live on Cryptotvplus. Now, we begin with the story of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, and how blockchain can help set the agreement in motion, achieve its core objectives of creating a single continent-wide markets for goods and services and promoting the movement of capital, investment and business travelers. We now move to Dubai to speak with Africa's first Bitcoin investor, Gauis Chibueze, popularly known as Bitcoin Chief, as he shares his story on how he lost $34,000 in a single trade and made over $175,000 still in a single trade. Now, the essence of this conversation is to help traders, traders as well, with tips on how to trade smartly and manage risk in crypto trading. He joins us on Skype from Dubai. Bitcoin Chief, good to have you join me on the program. Now, a few days ago, you shared this story on your IG Live. I actually followed and I watched. Can you tell us this story, how it happened and what you did before, we discuss tips for risk management there?
Okay, thank you so much, Tony. Thank you so much, the team at Cryptotvplus. I thank you so much I thank all the viewers who have joined us. So before now, I believe the audience already understand the difference between traders and holders. So I happen to be one of the cryptocurrency traders, which are people who are concerned with technical and fundamental analysis. So, trading is one of that activity that has pushed Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency market to where it is now. The speculators, people who want to buy and speculate that, the price of Bitcoin is currently this. They want to buy at $30,000 and sell at $32,000. So on that fateful day, I was almost going to bed, but I take most of my trades at night, and I was almost going to bed, and I just grabbed my laptop and I checked, and I saw a setup that I thought was going to be a profitable one, and I went in. I took that trade. It was actually a futures trade. For those who are not too familiar with the terms, we have marginal trading, we have spot trading, but I believe the spot trading is for baby traders. I think that should be the first. That should be the first type of trading that you should concern yourself with. So I took up that trade, and I leveraged up to 70%, and before I could check, I was already liquidated. So, which means the market didn't go as planned. Even though I had already done my analysis, both the technical and fundamental. But like I always tell those I come in contact with, I say Bitcoin right now at this stage right now is no longer following the technical analysis. Bitcoin right now at this very stage, we saw Bitcoin go from $10,000 or thereabout to $42,000. So as at this stage right now, Bitcoin is no longer following the technical analysis. It's more or less like people hear in the news. It's more or less of the fundamental analysis. People hear in the news that Grayscale just bought up to $10 million worth of Bitcoin and they're locking it up. It's a good time to buy because big investors are coming into the industry and people buy, which was one of the reasons why the market didn't go as I thought it would go, and I was liquidated of $34,000. It was a very painful experience because I was actually going into that trade to make some profit, to sort something I was working on. So, this has been my experience. I shared it on my Instagram. I shared it also on my YouTube. So the reason why I shared it because I want people to understand that in cryptocurrency, it's not just about gains. Fine, investing in Bitcoin or buying and holding Bitcoin is profitable on a long term. But if you want to trade like a day trader, if you want to be following the market, which means that you're doing your technical and fundamental analysis, it is very risky. It is very risky. You must be ready to lose. So all you need to do is to see how you can manage your loss. But there is no trader that I've come in contact with or that I know exists anywhere in the world that has not lost money to the cryptocurrency market.
Now, Bitcoin Chief. Yeah. 34, before we continue, right? $34,000 is quite a huge amount of money, to lose. And before we continue there, let me just throw this out. If you would like, I'm actually talking to your viewers, if you'd like to ask Bitcoin Chief any question, all you just need to do is drop those questions in the comment section on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, whatever channel that you're watching from. I don't usually do this, but I'm actually doing it. So I'm going to be picking 3 questions. So if you want to be lucky and you want me to read your question live on the program, just go to the comment section of the channel that you're watching and just drop a question for Bitcoin Chief. I know you're holding your chest, $34,000, quite a huge sum. But then again, there's the second part of the story, where he made over $175,000 still in a single trade. So if you want to ask Bitcoin Chief any question, leave those questions in the comment section and I'll pick it up and ask him live on the program. Now, coming to you, Bitcoin Chief, just like I mentioned right there, losing over $34,000. But then again, before you know it, you also made over $175,000. How did you do it? You've mentioned technical and fundamental analysis, but how did you go about this?
Okay, so myself and my partner, Bitcoin Goddess, we teamed up. I actually made the $175,000 before losing the 34,000.
Oh, interesting.
So, that way around. So we took this particular trade, FUN, on Binance, and we took a position. She actually did the analysis, and we took this position with I think, is it $40,000 or $38,000 or thereabout. I can't really remember the exact amount because we had to. It was a mid-term trade. So mid-term trades are that you're actually going to hold for some time. You need to hold it for some days. So it wasn't just a day trade. So we got that particular coin. I think it was on the 27th of December. I think it was on the 24th of December of 2017. So we went into that particular trade and we held it for 8 days. And that was the profit that we came out with from that trade, $175,000 in that single trade. And that particular profit happens to be our biggest profit. So we did the analysis. Bitcoin Goddess, my partner, did more of the technical analysis and everything. So I saw the setup and she explained everything on why we need to go all in on that particular coin. And we were able to come out with that. Just some few days. Now, this one actually happened after I lost the $34,000. Just some few days ago, again, she came up with a particular signal. I think it was XVG. We those of us that are day traders, you saw that XVG has done well for some days now. She came up with 2 signals, which is XVG and FTN, and we have actually made even more than the money that we actually lost. So this one has happened after we lost this $34,000.
Okay. All right. Now, interesting story right there. I believe most traders who at some point, in their trading life or trading journey, must have, lost a huge sum here, just like you yourself, Bitcoin Chief. Let's now go into the business, of today, which is providing us with tips, on how to manage risks. You shared, I think, 5 or thereabouts, if I'm not mistaken, on your IG Live. Would you like to engage, the audience with, some of these risk management tools or steps, for them to take? Let's just do this, let's say, for traders as well as baby traders.
Okay. Thank you so much, Tony. So for those that are watching, there are 5 tips I've always shared, which I think is very, very important that you take note when you're going into cryptocurrency trading. One of those tips is that you shouldn't buy a coin blindly. Don't just buy a coin blindly. Look at the performance of that particular coin over time. Remember that as a trader, you're not buying this coin to hold. You're buying this coin to take some profit in a matter of hours or days. So you must do your technical and fundamental analysis very, very well. You must understand that, okay, there is going to be a setup. You're not, you're actually a day trader and not a holder. So you're not planning to just buy this coin and hold it for whatever year it goes up. So you must do your analysis first to make sure that there is truly a setup that you are going to exit at profit. So that is the number one tip. Do your technical and fundamental analysis very well. Make sure that you understand the setup and everything. Know when to enter and when to exit. Now, number two, you have to limit your greed. Now, I believe the reason why I actually lost so much in that particular trade, that I lost up to $34,000, was because my leverage was too high. So that is greed, which it is normal for every cryptocurrency trader or anybody in the anybody in the market world. You understand? It is normal that sometimes you want to take risks blindly. So if it was not actually greed, I have leveraged, let's say 10% or thereabouts. So if my leverage was small, probably I will not be liquidated that much. So you must remove greed from trading. You must remove greed. Then you also another thing again that you need to do, which is going to be the number 3 tip I'm going to give, is that you have to understand. This one has nothing to do with the futures trading I took. Now you have to understand stop loss, stop limit. For those of you that know stop loss or stop limit. Now there is a reason why there is stop loss there. Now in the normal layman's sense, let's say you have a shop that you sell, that you sell bags of rice, and you tell your sales girl and you say, oh, the current price of bag of rice right now in the market is $10. But if the price in this market starts going down to $9, please don't allow my rice, don't hold mine to allow the price go below $9. When it gets to $8.99, sell mine.
Sell it.
So in the currency trading world, stop limits or OCO, Binance, I think Binance and some other platforms have introduced something called OCO, order cancel order. Now, what this OCO does is that before now, you can actually set just stop loss. So which means if you put a trade in the market and you set your stop loss, if you are not looking at the market, when the market goes up, you can't make any profit. It will just only be waiting for when the price is going down for it to sell. So they decided to bring this OCO so that you can set that if it goes up to this price, it should sell for you. If it comes down to this
price that you sell to.
So OCO, I think, is something that you must know. You must acquaint yourself with it, especially if you're trading on big exchanges like Binance. So this is one of those. This is one of those most important tips that has helped me to manage my risk in trading. Then you must know when to exit. You must know when to exit a trade. Sometimes
that's number 4 now.
Yes, sometimes you're already in a losing trade, but you are consoling yourself that the price is going to go up. And what happens? The price keeps going down. Now, if you were actually a smart trader, what you could actually do is that if the price starts going down to a certain level, you can use your stop loss and sell it off and buy back at a cheaper price than what you actually bought the first one that was sold off at loss. So, and another thing again that you can actually do if you have enough cash is that when the price has dropped down, and the price has dropped down very well, you can buy more of that particular coin. So with that now, yes, you're already at loss, but you're buying more of that particular coin. I actually did that for a coin called AXS on Binance. So I did it some few days ago. I took that trade and the price kept going down. And When the price went down, I bought more of it. And when the price came up, I sold everything and I was in profit, in some good profit. So you should know before you enter a trade, you should know your entry and exit position. Don't just enter a trade blindly. Know your entry and exit position even before you take that particular trade.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, this is actually not to say that you won't get your fingers burnt, right? He has just given us 5 tips on how to manage, those risks so that you don't lose so much, and he talked about technical and fundamental analysis, know your technical and fundamental analysis. He talked about greed there. I almost laughed when you mentioned greed. You were being greedy. So don't be greedy, all right? That's number 2. Number 3, he talked about knowing your stop loss or stop limit, as the case may be. Number 4, he says know when to exit the trade. And he talked about, buying more when the price is down. All right, you're losing, quite all right. It's obvious that you're losing. You could be crying. But then again, buy more when the price is down. Know your entry and exit position right there. So Bitcoin Chief, I will just go to our Facebook. Okay, let me start with YouTube. I'll go to our YouTube comment section there to just pick a few questions. I see people that are already sending in questions for you. This is a question by Ebube Agu Samuel. He says, please, Chief, can someone trade with his mobile phone or must it be a laptop?
No, people are actually trading with their mobile phone. I do most of my trading on the go, so which means I do it on my mobile phone. But it is better for, especially technical and fundamental analysis, it is better to use a laptop so that you can see the charts very well. But people can actually trade with their mobile phones.
Okay, so you've gotten the answer to that, Ebube there. Another question here is, this is Stez Vlog. I heard people who got scammed by what is termed Bitcoin flash, where scammers flash fake Bitcoins to unsuspecting prey. Do you know about it, and what are the ways to protect oneself? I think he's asking a question on security.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that question, dear viewer. It's very important for people to understand that every technology comes with its own challenges, and some evil people will leverage on every good technology to start to steal from others. So of late, especially in 2020, we saw something evil start in the blockchain space called Flashcoin or Flash BTC, where some people can send you a value that is not real, and because you have seen that value has actually flashed on your wallet, you will now say, okay, let me just pay off this person. For those of you who are trading peer-to-peer, which is why I recommend people always use escrow platforms, because escrow platforms, the exchange makes sure that Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency that you're buying is on their platform. So nobody can do flash coin on those platforms, because the coin must have confirmed 100% before that person could place a buy order, or before that person could place a sell order. So what these people do is that, I don't know how they do it, but probably they have a software or whatever. They send something the Bitcoin comes into your wallet with that particular value that person said he has sent. And after some time, you see that value is no longer appearing in your wallet. So one of the ways to avoid this is that if you're trading, which is very risky, I don't encourage it, but if you're trading with people on social media, maybe somebody just sent you Bitcoin, you're buying Bitcoin from your bed, make sure that you see 100% confirmation. What I even personally do is that I even try to send it out. I try to want that point, and I confirm that yes, I can send it out before I go ahead to pay that person. So one thing that you must make sure that you do is to confirm that it has confirmed on the blockchain 100%, not when it has confirmed 2/3 and you send your money to that person. So that is the way, for now, that is the only way to protect yourself from Flashcoin.
I like that fact that you say you would want to try to send it to another person, and if it leaves, We can actually relate this with fake alert or bank alert or fake transfer in the real world here. Okay, so Bitcoin Chief here, because of time, let me just give you this last question because I promised I'll be asking you 3 questions. This question is from Okam Solomon. He says, what blockchain innovations are in place to make day trading faster, especially in platforms like Abit Network?
Okay, so there are a whole lot of innovations that are coming up, even though not actually on Abit Network for now. But you see platforms like Binance and the rest of them that are heavy on trade. You see them; they keep bringing in new softwares and new ways of features that people can use to improve their trading.
Experience.
So they also before, remember I talked about something called stop loss and
stop limits there.
and OCO. Before we used to have just stop loss, and they introduced OCO. Now, so there are different other type of technologies that some of these platforms are building. Now in DeFi, now we are seeing what Uniswap and the rest of them are actually doing. They are making trading Bitcoin, or they are making trading in generally. They are making trading generally become more improved, and there are so many ways right now to make gains from the blockchain space now than just day trading. So I think these guys are building a whole lot of new technologies that are handling that. But on a personal level, on our big network, since trading is not our major focus, trading is actually a personal thing. So we have not actually adopted most of those technologies because we are still at the infancy stage of our building process. We are just 6 months of business.
Okay, thank you so much, Bitcoin Chief, for speaking with us on the program. I'm sure you had a great time. You're watching this program, and for as many that ask questions, thank you for asking. Thank you so much, Chief. At this point, I'll just have to let you go.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tony.
All right. Okay, let's now speak with Sonya Kuhnel, the director and co-founder of Bitcoin Events, to find out more about this year's edition of Blockchain Africa Conference. She joins us on Skype from South Africa. Hello, Sonya. Tell us about this event, the Blockchain Africa Conference, right? And what attendees, should expect, as well as, why you chose the title there or the theme of the conference, From Hype to Mainstream.
Hi, Tony. Thank you so much for having me. It's a real pleasure to meet you finally in person. We've been communicating over email and LinkedIn for a while, so it's a great pleasure to actually meet you and see the work that you're doing in Nigeria. Yes, so as you mentioned, I'm the director and the co-founder of Bitcoin Events, based in Cape Town in South Africa. And we started this company in 2014 with my business partner, Theo Sols. And really, we decided to create Bitcoin Events because at that time in 2014, there was almost no information about blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies in Africa. So, the aim of these conferences is to showcase what is happening globally as well as what's happening in Africa, and bring that information to the African continent. Obviously, we're a little bit behind on what's going on globally in Asia and Europe and America. So, what we're trying to do is bring the global speakers to Africa and, bring that information to the people in Africa so they can learn from what's actually going on globally. Okay. So, we're gearing up for our 7th event this year. It's going to be on the 18th and 19th of March. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we've had to go online for the very first time. It's always been a great event in person in Johannesburg. We've had the event twice in Cape Town, but we find that there's a lot more interest in Johannesburg in terms of the financial institutions that are based there and the head offices are there. So, Joburg is the place to host these events. So we're going online, which is going to be different for us, which is a pity in a way because, the networking opportunities at the Blockchain Africa conference is the biggest highlight for many of the attendees that come, and for me personally, to meet the people in the industry and to engage and learn what's actually really going on. So Blockchain Africa Conference 2021, our 7th event, 18th to 19th of March, online. The tickets are free.
Yeah,
it's the first time.
So you can find the graphics on the screen there.
That's it. So, you can go to our website, blockchainafrica.co. Please register. It's completely for free. You're very lucky. This is the first year that everything is for free, and we thank you to our sponsors for being, let us make this for free. So we've got such an exciting lineup of speakers this year, Tony, and every single year I find the speakers are absolutely incredible. They're incredibly diverse. We showcase the different blockchain technologies. We showcase the global trends and the latest developments in the space. And obviously, it's over 2 days, so there's a lot of content. There's a lot of speakers. At this stage, we've got 30 speakers confirmed. Oh, wow. Our target is about 40 speakers, so not many speaking slots left, and we've been inundated with speaking applications. And the most amazing speakers that have really applied this year, more so than any other year, especially from the African continent. It's the first time we're seeing a tremendous amount of people actually applying to speak from Africa. In the past, it's been from Asia and Europe and America, not so much from Africa. So that's a very positive sign for us that there's a lot more going on in Africa than before. The topics are very exciting. The speakers are exciting. Like I said, we can delve into some of the topics a little bit. I'm
actually concerned. I know that the Blockchain Africa Conference, is one of the biggest conferences in the crypto space globally, right? But I'm particularly interested in the theme, right, of this conference. You said it's from hype to mainstream. What is the idea behind that theme?
Yes, thanks for picking that up. So, last year's conference in March in Johannesburg, the theme was Beyond the Hype. And, what we were trying to do is basically showcase how this technology has moved from a lot of hype between 2015 and 2018-19 to actually a more mature level of adoption. So what we're seeing is institutional investment in cryptocurrencies, but also real use cases and development and projects that are coming out in the market that's getting traction. So we found, the previous conferences, there were a lot of talk about what was going to happen, and there were experiments and there were proof of concepts. And 2020, when we had the theme of Beyond the Hype, we had sort of interesting use cases that were actually in production and they were starting to get traction. Now what we're seeing is we've moved beyond the hype and we're actually going mainstream. So a lot of these projects are actually already got a huge amount of traction. We've got speakers and a country fellowman of yours, Yele Badamoze, who is a keynote speaker. He's from Nigeria. He's going to be talking about what they're doing at Bundle Africa in terms of, allowing people to buy cryptocurrencies and send Naira to each other as well. So there's a lot of exciting projects that are beyond the experimental phase and are actually now being implemented and adopted. And interestingly enough, when we started the conferences, the first conference was called the Bitcoin Africa Conference. Everyone was only talking about Bitcoin in 2015. And we've seen a tremendous change in that. So over the last 4 years, from 2016, 17, 18, and 19, it was very much blockchain technology. There was so much hype around what blockchain technology can do. People didn't want to hear the word Bitcoin. They wanted to know blockchain only. So we called the event Blockchain Africa Conference for 4 years. And now what we're seeing at this event, this year's event, is a return back to the interest in Bitcoin. And institutions want to talk about Bitcoin again, and there's a big focus on that right now. So it's an equal focus for us this year on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency adoption, and as well as blockchain adoption. So it's twofold, not so much focused only on the blockchain technology itself as we have been doing over the last 4 years.
Yes. Interesting. You mentioned one of the speakers there, Yele Bademosi, who I've had the pleasure of interviewing on this program a few times. Or some time ago, I had this conversation with him. Quite an interesting project that he's running with Bundle Africa. Now, Sonya, can you just engage me here with what attendees or participants should be expecting, right, for this year's conference?
Yeah, look, it's quite a diverse range of topics. So, what we're doing is we're showcasing, first and foremost, we've got a speaker, a lovely lady called Sandra Rowe. She's from the Global Blockchain Business Council. She's the CEO there. She's going to be talking, she's based in New York, and she's going to be talking about the overall landscape of blockchain technology. Her topic is called the state of blockchain. And she's got a very good oversight of what the institutions are doing with blockchain technology and what the interest level is there. So she'll be talking about that. Obviously, a very interesting trend with the Bitcoin price reaching all-time highs recently over the last few weeks in December and January is the latest global crypto institutional trends. So how much institutional money is going into cryptocurrencies and why? Some of the largest firms in the world are now actually including Bitcoin in their or cryptocurrencies in their portfolio. You've got MicroStrategy, you've got Mass Mutual, you've got BlackRock interested in this, and these are massive firms. So we're going to be talking a lot about why these institutions are into the space and what the future looks like for them. Obviously, it's exciting to see for the first time that there's so much interest from institutions. And we didn't see that at our previous conference in March last year. There wasn't talk about the institutions at that stage. So a lot has happened in that space over a year. We're also going to be talking about what is required for cryptocurrencies to go mainstream in Africa. This has obviously been a topic over the last 2 years at our events is what is hindering the adoption of Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, and what is required to make it easier for that adoption to take place. Besides education, what are the other things that we need to be doing? And then also, the payment solutions for cross-border, remittances and payments. That's obviously a big use case in Africa. And then we'll also be talking about decentralized finance, very exciting topic. Last year's conference, there was almost no talk about this. So in 1 year, it's exploded. We had one speaker, Richard D'Souza from Alcoin Trader, have one talk at our conference last year about this, and it prickled my interest. And this year we really want to showcase what is happening. And there's obviously a lot of problems around DeFi. There's a couple of projects that are a little bit dodgy, but it is an exciting thing to showcase because there are so many opportunities. So we'll be looking at that. We're also looking at stable coins and the impact for global import and export. We're going to be talking about central bank digital currencies and the future for central banks. It's obviously a very hot topic as well right now, with a lot of central banks, also in emerging countries, looking at how they can adopt this CBDCs. And then always, obviously, a very interesting topic at our conferences and always heavy focus on it is regulation and compliance. So, what are the regulators saying about cryptocurrencies? What are their intentions? What are their concerns around cryptocurrency adoption? And, obviously with a lawsuit against Ripple from the SEC recently, that's something that we want to showcase. And why is Ripple and XRP going to be deemed a security? What are the thoughts? The court case is coming out in February, and maybe by March there'll be some insight into that. But also the lawsuit against Bitfinex and iFinex and Tether. What's happening there? Are they printing money out of nothing? And are they manipulating the price of Bitcoin? So that's always interesting. And could that affect the crypto market in general? There's concerns there, and people need to be aware of this. So we're just providing this information and platform for people to be aware. Yeah. And then we've got a very nice fireside chat. It's going to be lots of fun. I don't know if you know Peter McCormack. He runs the What Bitcoin Did podcast and the Defiance TV podcast. He's quite a controversial speaker, always lots of fun. And him and Dan, he's going to be the host of the Fireside Chat on institutional and retail investment in crypto. And Dan Howell, also a big name in the space, who's responsible for business development and growth at Kraken, so one of the largest exchanges in the world, will be joining him on that. We'll have some other speakers confirmed shortly. We're still busy finalizing some of the speakers. And so, yeah, I think that's a general overview. We're still confirming a lot of the topics with the speakers. So, generally that's what we're going to be focusing on, but also obviously blockchain enterprise development. What are the big organizations? How are they using blockchain in enterprise? How is blockchain as a service, for example, being utilized by institutions? And, which technologies are being chosen and why? So, yeah, that's just a quick rundown. And I think, yeah.
All right. I see you've employed quite a lot of interesting activities, and the conference itself is said to be highly educational and insightful as well for as many that will be attending. So just before I let you go right there, Sonya, let's do this for those who are yet to register. How do they register for this conference?
Sure. So please go to our website. It's blockchainafrica.co, not co.za, just .co. And there's a big register button on the top menu. Please just click that and just follow the prompts. We're using an O-10 times platform. So you just follow the prompts. It's a free ticket. So please go and register. You won't be disappointed. It's really going to be a fantastic lineup and interesting discussions. And obviously a focus on Africa. What is happening in Africa? As much as possible, we're going to be talking about that as well.
Okay, so you've heard it from Sonya Kuhnel. Visit blockchainafrica.co. You've got a free ticket there waiting for you to join and attend this conference. The conference is poised to blow your mind away, to learn about this new wave, this industry, this ecosystem, that has gotten the attention of big institutions. I like to call them the big players within or operating within the financial space globally. You want to learn about blockchain technology. You want to learn about the different innovative projects and solutions that are operating within the space. This is a conference. What a way to actually kickstart the year. It's happening in March. You've seen the graphics there. All right. So just go ahead to blockchainafrica.co to register and learn. So for as many of you that have been asking, Tony, what is blockchain? What is cryptocurrency? Come on, this is a platform for free. That's another interesting thing. All this information, you can get them at your fingertips just for free. Okay, so thank you so much, Sonya, for joining me on the program. At this point, I'll have to let you go.
Thanks so much for having me, Tony. And also, I just want to quickly say thanks for being a media sponsor of the event. We look forward to your participation at the event. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, definitely.
All the best.
Definitely. All right, and that will be all on today's program. You can get more market updates and all the happenings captured within the world of blockchain and cryptocurrency on our website, www.cryptotvplus.com. If you also want to know more about the Blockchain Africa conference, you can visit our website there, cryptotvplus.com. We are on social media. Follow us at CryptoTVPlus on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram as well. Just type at CryptoTVPlus. You'll find us to get daily info of our programs, and all the things that are happening in the crypto space. Thank you so much for staying with us all through the program. I am Tony Obiajiri. Until I come your way next week, keep trading and keep taking profits.
Oh, hi. I'm a smart investor. I dare say that because I understand the cryptocurrency markets and I am up to date on every new development, fintech and blockchain ecosystem. All because I watch the Inside Blockchain show on Crypto TV Plus. Every Monday morning, Crypto TV Plus brings you news headlines of top stories, interview with an expert, and give you detailed market analysis to enable you make the right business moves. Now you too can become a smart investor if you don't miss it. The Inside Blockchain show, only on Crypto TV Plus.